Firefighters in Whitley County are investigating several suspicious fires in a short amount of time. And the last known noose used in a hanging in Kentucky disappears in Letcher County.
Cold temperatures continue and our next system works in for the weekend. Those details now on First at 4.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, someone is burning down homes in one southern Kentucky county. Most of the homes have been empty, but investigators say the arsonists are destroying a lot of property all across Whitley County. WYNT's Phil Pendleton has more on the troubling situation in the Corbin area.
This fire started around 2 o'clock Tuesday morning at what was an abandoned home here on Fairview Lane in Corbin. But fire officials in a number of other communities say this is becoming all too common. It has been a busy week for firefighters in Whitley County. Corbin firefighters had 2 fires early Tuesday morning. This one on 16th Street is under investigation, but the one on Fairview Lane is almost certainly suspicious because no one was living in it. And at least 4 other structures in the Corbin area have also burned in the early morning hours. And there's a few telltale signs they were intentionally set.
Mostly it's vacant, there's no utilities, no one's supposed to be in the house, so there's no real reason why it should catch on fire without some kind of outside influence.
All of these homes were either abandoned or vacant, but one of the homes in Woodbine had recently been remodeled. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
We are told the other fires that burned are in the Woodbine, Rockholds, and White Oak communities.
Well, the cold temperature is sticking around across eastern Kentucky, but the sunshine, it's here as well. So even though we're cold, we actually deal with some partly cloudy skies at this time, and that's the same story at one of our Winesburg cameras. You'll notice partly cloudy to mostly sunny conditions, and really the cloud cover been to the northeast with a few snowflakes earlier this morning, which caused a light coating for some of the big sandy communities, and that continues to be the story across West Virginia and at Charleston, Huntington. That light snow continues to provide a light coating over there. It's 28 in Hazard, 32 in Lexington, and 31 in Owensboro. You'll look at 32 as you work into Somerset, and closer to home, it's those upper 20s to the lower 30s at this time. And really the temperatures have been handled well by the models, which is important to know as we head into this weekend system. Right now it feels like 28 degrees in Jackson and Hazard, 26 in London, and a cold 22 in Richmond, 16. It feels like 16 degrees in Pikeville. Now the weather headlines as we head through the next couple of days, it's going to be another cold night ahead of us tonight. The snow chances, they'll begin to arrive late Friday into early Saturday morning. And Steve, it's not going to be an all-day snow event for your Saturday. There's going to be a brief window when I think the worst travel conditions are occurring. We'll break down that timing and what we expect coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Police say a man jumped in the river to escape from police this morning after admitting to stealing a purse from a car parked at Appalachian Tobacco in Pike County. Rescue crews searched up and down the Tug Fork River in Belfry looking for Mark J. Hatfield. With temperatures being so low, crews were concerned that Hatfield's body temperature would drop. They later found him on railroad tracks in West Virginia by authorities in Mingo County.
I would think he is very lucky. The temperature was like 22 degrees over there this morning, and the water was not much warmer than that. He couldn't last long if he'd stayed in the water, so he's lucky he got out across to the other side.
He was taken to Williamson Memorial Hospital. His condition is not known right now. He faces charges of theft by unlawful taking, criminal mischief, assault, fleeing on foot, and resisting arrest. We hope to have much more on this coming up at 6. The last known noose used in a public hanging in Kentucky has gone missing. The noose sat on a shelf in Letcher County for years. It was used in a hanging in 1910, but according to the new circuit clerk in Letcher County, when he came in, it was gone. WYMT's Connor James has more on the mystery.
Close to 110 years ago, Floyd Frazier was hanged right about here for the murder of Ellen Flannery back in 1907. Now, the noose, which was a historical aspect to this town, has gone missing. Letcher County Circuit Clerk Mike Watt says he used to view the noose all the time as a child. It used to be on display in the courthouse. He's not exactly sure when it went missing, but he says you can see where the noose part of the rope was cut off. Documentarians in the case say they believe it was the last legal hanging in Kentucky.
Because it's a piece of our history, I hate that it's gone. I want to get a shadow box to put it in and display it so our citizens can see it, because I want to preserve it because it's our history and it means a lot to us.
Now, they're not looking to file any charges in this case. They just ask that if anyone knows where it is, to just return it. They want it back to put in a display case so people can view it as one of the historical aspects of this town. I'm in Letcher County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, we talked with the great-granddaughter of Ellen Flannery, the woman who was murdered back in 1907. You will hear from her coming up tonight at 6. President Donald Trump is in Texas as he makes his case for building a wall along the U.S. border with Mexico. The president's trip comes as a standoff with Democrats over funding the wall has a partial government shutdown in its 20th day. Earlier today, the president warned if Democrats will not compromise on funding for the wall, he could declare a national emergency, which would allow him to go around Congress and use military money to pay for it.
I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency. I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it. I would almost say definitely.
The president is demanding $5.7 billion for the wall. Democrats are opposed, saying it would be ineffective. The president says he's not worried about Republican support wavering, saying the party is united in increasing border security. A 104-mile section of border wall is slated to be built in Texas along the Rio Grande River. Baldelia Rodriguez grew up on this property, and her grandmother bought it more than 60 years ago. It sits right along the Rio Grande, but now the roughly 64-acre stretch of land could soon be in the path of the border wall.
It's Mexico right across. I mean, if we saw people coming over, it was people that were good people. It was people that were seeking asylum for their children.
Her brother and sister now own the land. They rent some of the property to tenants who have built small houses and trailers here. The government could use a process known as eminent domain to seize the land for the wall with compensation from private owners like Rodriguez's brother. A homeless man accused of being part of a fake GoFundMe scam was arrested yesterday in Philadelphia. Authorities took Johnny Bobbitt Jr. into custody after he failed to appear in court for pending fraud charges. Authorities say Bobbitt, Kate McClure, and Mark D'Amico created a GoFundMe account to supposedly help the homeless Bobbitt. More than $400,000 was raised, but Bobbitt later sued the couple, accusing them of using the money for their own personal benefit. Prosecutors say it was all a scam. The three are charged with second-degree theft by deception as well as conspiracy to commit theft by deception. The U.S. Mine Safety and Health Administration says coal mining-related deaths reached a record low in Kentucky in 2018. Here in Kentucky, only one miner died last year. Again, that is a record low. The agency says there were only 12 deaths at coal mines nationwide in 2018. But the agency says there were 27 fatalities nationwide at all mines in 2018. These include facilities such as rock quarries. This is the second lowest number of mining deaths ever. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday. The Dow closes up today more than 122 points. If you drive a Toyota, Sienna, Corolla, Matrix, 4Runner, or a Lexus, we have a recall you need to know about. More than 1 million of the vehicles are being recalled over airbag concerns. The Toyota model years affected include 2010 to 2016. The Lexus model years include 2010 through 2017. Toyota and Lexus dealers will replace the faulty equipment. Recall notices are going out to owners this month. In the meantime, you can check to see if your car is affected at toyota.com/recall.
The owner of this restaurant says she may not be able to pay her employees if the shutdown continues. I'm Hillary Lane with the drastic steps you may have to take to keep the doors open.
The snow and rain chances, a tricky forecast, and all the details we know and you need to know are coming out.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
If you've been denied a job, harassed, or even fired because of your health, age, race, religion, or sex, call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Are you tired of not smiling? Embarrassed by a less than perfect smile? The dentists at Allen Dental Centers have been fixing smiles for generations. Affordable smiles.